Thanks for joining us. My name is Michelle, Marketing Manager for Sesame Creek. Today we have with us David Bronner, who is the Cosmic Engagement Officer, or CEO of Dr. Bronner's, the grandson of company founder Emmanuel Bronner, and a fifth generation soap maker. David is also the founder of the Sun and Earth certification and Brother David's Cannabis brand, which are both nonprofits committed to supporting small family farms, practicing regenerative organic agriculture, farm worker protections, and community engagement. David is also a dedicated vegan and enjoys surfing and dancing late into the night. Maybe we should start there. Have you been catching any good waves lately, David?
Yeah, I wish I was catching more, but I try to get in the water at least once a week.
Nice.
Just sad since I live right by the ocean. But my ideal is 3 times a week, and it's just, life gets crazy and busy for a number of reasons. But I'm pretty religious about going on Wednesday mornings.
Nice.
So tomorrow morning, just like kind of midweek, get in the water, and just kind of push back on the relentless craziness a little bit.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
You got to find some work-life balance, right?
Right on. Yeah.
Yeah. So Sun and Earth and Brother David started on Earth Day in 2019, and now it's a little over 2 years later. How do you feel about where it has gone?
Yeah. Well, gosh, I mean, the whole point of launching both organizations is to really help the small cannabis craft farmer who's been growing cannabis in the righteous way in the soil, under the sun, no chemicals, fair labor, giving back to their community, and just creating this really vibrant kind of farmer ecosystem in the Emerald Triangle. And they've been facing such a catastrophic situation with legalization and burdensome regulations and huge corporate grows, indoor grows coming in and displacing them. So the point of Sun and Earth is to have a consumer-facing certification that conscious consumers can look for, kind of like you would look for USDA organic seal, although that's a much more limited certification than what Sun and Earth is about. But in a similar way, it'd be like an easy way for consumers to be able to support farmers doing, growing their medicine in a really high vibration way.
Sure.
And then Brother David's is basically a brand platform to communicate about Sun and Earth certification, also not for profit, to signal that we want to see all our competitors also be Sun and Earth. Like, our whole point of existence is to just promote consciousness around sun-grown, outdoor cannabis grown in righteous ways. Unfortunately, while we're getting traction, the situation just continues to worsen. Right now is a really, really difficult time. The price of sun-grown outdoors, plummeted, and farmers are in really bad shape. So, unfortunately, this isn't like some magic wand we can wave to address the overall situation. But over the longer term, we're hoping to really kind of build consumer awareness and education around, you should purchase your medicine the same way you purchase your food, and just really think about the farmers and communities you're supporting, and, and the way you buy wine, just really look for high quality, righteous weed in the same way you would buy wine, and not just, look at like highest alcohol content in your wine. That's not why you buy wine. You buy it for all the, other awesome characteristics, the terroir of the land and the soil and the farmer and all that.
Most of it's not grown indoors.
Yeah, 100%. And then out indoor has such a mega fossil fuel footprint, and generally is my dog's dreaming and barking at something.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I think long term we're good, but it's the short term is, I think longer term we are going to build this awareness. I think, prohibition is going to end. California farmers are going to be able to sell weed to, other states and the rest of the world, hopefully, in Humboldt, Mendocino, Emerald Triangle. That's going to be huge. So I think, if the farmers can hold on, it's going to be okay. But it's just really a difficult time right now. And so hopefully we can, just continue to build awareness around sun and earth and get everyone through this tough time. Yeah.
Well, so I've been doing a number of interviews recently, and the sentiment seems to be the same around some of our other sun-grown and sun and earth certified brands. Talking about Soul Spirit as one of them, and recently our inventory manager was able to go up to Hall of Flowers, and just the general sentiment that I'm getting is that sun-grown cannabis is doing okay in Northern California, and people kind of get, what's the message, but Southern California, it sounds like, is really having a hard time. People trying to sell sun-grown down here. It's, it seems like everybody's interested in all the indoor stuff, and or they just don't know. Could you speak to that at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think unfortunately there's like how do you say, people are just really looking at THC and have, this idea that indoor is, more premium quality. And I mean, I think, maybe 10 years ago, there was some real problems with a lot of the outdoor weed being grown, but I mean, that's totally changed. And the AAA flower coming off these outdoor farms is, as good as any indoor on any criteria, and unmatched in terms of that, just the soil, the terroir, the vibration, the awesomeness that go, and all the energy that goes into the outdoor. So yeah, we got to shift that consumer kind of misunderstanding, and just we just got to kind of break through, and that's the challenge for sure.
Well, we're doing our best, right? We are trying to create content like this as a dispensary to try to put out the good word and put the message out there.
You guys are amazing. I was so blown away going into your shop, and just the way you had the sun and earth display, and just, hopefully you're setting a trend, or how do you say, just blazing the path and showing the way forward, and that more and more dispensaries look like you guys, because it's beautiful.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, it takes a village, right? And from farm all the way to the consumer, every step of the way, we got to be conscious of that. And we're really fortunate to have partners like you guys to help, get good weed to the people. So I want to ask you, I was going through one of your PDFs for Sun and Earth, and I saw this picture of you in what looks like a mobile prison cell with some cannabis, and there's a cop, at the bars. Can you tell me more about that story?
Yeah. Actually, I'll begin with another story. So in 2009, we actually dug up the DEA headquarters lawn and planted hemp seeds to protest the ongoing prohibition of hemp farming and cannabis generally. This was Obama's second year, and we were just kind of getting impatient that the same drug warriors were in position, and the same policies were in place. And Jack Herr just had a stroke, and we were all getting pretty frustrated. So we got arrested digging up the DA's lawn, and got a big front page Washington Post story about it. And so that's a fun video. But then 3 years later, still didn't have hemp farming. It's like, Obama, as an Illinois state senator, had voted 3 times for hemp farming, and he just figured that in the middle of like this worst recession ever, that we stop sending millions of dollars to Canadian farmers, and just let American farmers participate in this amazing consumer market for hemp that we've been growing. And so I made my theatrical trailer. It was basically a trailer with like a bunch of bars on it. So it was like a jail cell, but it was like I was the only free person basically in front of the White House there. That was my zone of freedom, harvesting my hemp plants that were really expensive. Because
that was in front of the White House?
Yeah, I was in front of the White House. I was yelling at Obama and Congress to let American farmers grow grow hemp. Obviously there was my subtext was, grow weed too, but why is my family sending hundreds of thousands of dollars to Canadian farmers? Like it's, America should be growing the hemp that we're using in our soaps. And it was a really effective action. I had Jack, so they couldn't tow me away. There was like 50 cops probably at one point. It was pretty crazy. Yeah.
What was the aftermath of all of that? Did they eventually you just get out of there somehow?
No, I mean, eventually there's a video you can, I think it's, White House hemp protests or something.
I'll look it up.
But after 3 hours, they tried to get me out so many different ways, but finally they called up the firefighters with some huge ska and they sawed me out. And initially they're trying to throw the book at me, but they knew like I was just going to give me more of a platform. So they pled me out with like 40 hours of community service and obstructing traffic. And I'm not allowed to be in front of the White House, I guess. But I think I've already gone like twice. I'm not even thinking about it. But
yeah, you'll have to find a different place to do it then, huh? So how effective was that? Do you feel like, obviously you got some publicity there. I love these guerrilla type tactics, being in marketing, I'm always interested in these different strategies that are kind of outside the box. Would you consider doing more things like that in your activism moving forward?
Yeah, when the right time for the right thing. Our director of social action is Adam Eidinger. He led the campaign to end cannabis prohibition in DC in 2014, and then was a treasurer for our Decriminalize Nature campaign there, where we decriminalized possession of plant medicine, ayahuasca and mushrooms, and all our other allies. Yeah. And but he has an ongoing DC marijuana organization, DCMJ, and you may have seen pictures of this big 50-foot joint. I think he's getting arrested today. He's got a fun thing. He's got that 50-foot joint, and they're going in front of the White House, or I think in front of Congress, and I think it's going to say "weed them out," like weed out all the prohibitionists. So the big 50-foot, he always has like a different tagline on it. So I think he's getting arrested right now. So. Generally he gets arrested and I just very happy for him, but once in a while, if I have like time and space and interest, I'll jump in there.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. But today, so we gotta look that up. It should be in the news, right?
Yeah. I should. Yeah. He's probably in jail right now.
Well, we're getting our stuff busted out and you guys are busting in. Yeah.
Right on. He actually goes and he does smoke-ins, like he'll get like, veterans and, people are just controlling all kinds of like stuff and having a way better quality of life. They'll actually smoke in like senator offices and stuff. They're pretty balls to the wall.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So what do you think are, moving forward, we're trying to do this education. You guys are doing, you're out in the streets. Performance protesting, and how can everybody help though? From dispensaries and all the way to the consumer level, we have our customers that are going to be watching this video. Obviously buying the cannabis and supporting the farms that way is helpful. But what else? What can people do to help make a difference and, get cannabis where it should be?
Yeah, well, definitely telling friends and family would like Brant, basically be an ambassador for Sun and Earth. Whenever someone's smoking weed, just, always appreciate the gift, but, maybe say, hey, Sun and Earth, this is super rad new certification I've been looking at.
Yeah.
We appreciate Demeter and, and the other certifications out there, and, just basically anyone that's like really helping conscious farmers connect with consumers.
Yeah.
Making a donation to Sun and Earth. So if you go to Sun and Earth, I think it's sunandearth.org, just that'll help. Bronner's, we do a lot of philanthropy in the space. And, we've actually donated to most of the major cannabis campaigns and prohibition, and recently for psychedelics and ending the drug war completely. But we're big financial supporters of Sun and Earth as well. And, we're looking to we really need to ramp up our marketing efforts but there's no better marketing than word of mouth,
right?
Just people telling friends and family about, what's what. So, I think that, just really spreading the word. And then, signing up, if we're financially able, make a contribution to Sun on Earth and kind of help out. Yeah.
I feel like a good conversation starter is, hey, when you're passing that joint around or whatever, do they know where that cannabis came from? Do they know what farm it came from? You brought up wine earlier. It's like you drink the wine, everybody talks about where it's from, what kind of grapes is it, et cetera. And it'd be sweet to see people do that with, cannabis more often. Really great stuff. So, for Sun on Earth and for Brother David's, are there any interesting things coming down the pipe that our listeners should know about?
I guess Brother David's not. We're just basically a brand platform for our farmers. We just really feature our farmers. So we're just going to keep doing that. Sun on Earth, there's more and more brands and farms signing up. There's chemistry and just other rad brands. Just really trying to build that Sun on Earth ecosystem. Really love how you merchandise like the Sun on Earth brands and just other conscious brands together. I think we were going to want to work hard on seeing other shops do that. Just kind of follow that. Like really, just really. I think in-store marketing is the best. To really connect with people and educate them.
There's already cannabis conversation happening right there, with budtenders. So
right on.
So I don't know how up to date you are with it or not, but we are, for the whole month of October, we're featuring Sun on Earth for Croptober. And starting every Friday, we're featuring a new brand. And so we're starting with Brother David's for the whole week. Yeah, so we got this interview rolling up for that. And then after that, we're doing Chemistry and Moonmade Farms together for a week. We got Soul Spirit and Fiddler's Greens together over from High Tide Distro. And I got interviews lined up with all of them. So Jody and Cameron over at High Tide and Tina. And I think we're doing a 3-way interview with Tina, Jimmy, and myself over on Instagram during their feature week also. So Chemistry and Moonmade Farms. So really excited about that. Happy for you to help launch it as we get going.
Bam. Well, thank you so much for doing that. And say hi to big love to all those guys.
Definitely.
They're all rock stars, and thank you.
Yeah, for sure. I have 2 more questions for you. One is, has Sun on Earth ever considered doing a certification, but for dispensaries?
Wow. Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Well, if you're interested in that, I'd love to talk. We could talk more about that. If there's a way to be a Sun on Earth dispensary, Sespe Creek would like to be one. So.
Yeah, right. That's super dope. Yeah, let me drop in with Les Sabo is the president of Brother David's and kind of a major force behind the Sun on Earth certification, and also directs our philanthropy at Dr. Bronner's, which is super rad. But that's a really cool idea, to be a Sun on Earth certified dispensary and what that would involve. And we definitely would want you to have be in the whatever committee builds out those criteria.
Yeah, that'd be great. One of the things that we're looking at doing as we speak, we're getting our flower board reprogrammed, and every flower strain that is from one of the certifications, whether it's Sun on Earth, Clean Green, or DAM, we're highlighting them in green and saying that it's sustainable. And then on the side, we're going to have our certification, different certifications and the brands that are underneath them. So we're trying to pump up being green as best as we can.
Yeah, right on. That's beautiful. Yeah, it'd be interesting. Maybe it's 50% of the flowers are, something awesome or something like that.
Yeah. If you carry enough brands. And another thing is we're a certified green business ourselves. So we limit our paper usage, and as a county business, we have the green certification through them. So we're doing our best over here, and your ethos is perfectly in line with ours. So would love to collaborate creatively and figure out how we can build our partnership together.
Yeah, no, thank you. And yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
Right on.
great. So last question. I said I had two, and a little left field, but interested to hear more about your psychedelic advocacy. I know Dr. Bronner Sobes came out with like a Heal Soul campaign, and that you've
Yeah.
also been looking at drug policy reform. Where are you at with that? It seems like you're on the front lines for that type of advocacy.
Yeah. So here's the Heal Soul bottle.
Great.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So I've been very passionate about integrating psychedelic allies as well as cannabis. Had huge experiences in college, but then especially after college in Amsterdam, and experienced ego death and the love and light at the heart of existence, and really realized the power of these psychedelic sacraments to help us connect to source energy and our deeper, more authentic selves, and be, how do you say, just understand our unity, fundamental unity with the natural living world that we're a part of. We're just such a small part of and one with, and really understood my granddad, Dr. Bronner, and what he was saying all his life about all the faith traditions that their heart are saying, but pointing to that transcendent source when they're not making idols out of their beliefs and demonizing each other. And then, leaving alone the spiritual side. I mean, just the amount of healing that people can experience who have severe trauma, PTSD, depression, end of life anxiety, addictions of, various substance use disorders, and the emotional pain and trauma at the heart of those, like the psychedelic medicines and plant medicines and healing ceremonies and therapy, are just showing this huge promise for everybody. And for the rest of us, I mean, even if we're not like have a diagnosis of, something horrible, I mean, we're all struggling with the dilemmas of life, and all these allies are just so hugely helpful. And yeah, so as is cannabis, and so I've been, dedicated my life to integrating all of our allies and ending the drug war. I mean, for people who are addicted to hard drugs, I mean, it's not helping them, further traumatizing them with arrest and incarceration, and just making everything much more difficult. Yeah. We need to move to a treatment first approach to addiction, and not incarceration. And so, but Heal Soul was very much about psychedelic healing. And my brother says that so my granddad, so his famous label, he generally, it's his message of one love and unity across religious traditions, but every once in a while we'll swap out a special label about an issue we really care about. And so in the fall, we did the Heal Soul label, and we talked all about psychedelic assisted therapy and treatment and plant medicine. And we did it in a way that my brother says, in a way that my mom's church group can receive. Like, really just did it in a non kind of controversial way, just like laid it out. But we thought it would, and then we did a bunch of videos, and we raised a lot of money for the 109 campaign in Oregon, integrated psilocybin therapy in 110, which ended the drug war in Oregon in favor of treatment, and then also for DC, and where we legalized plant medicine. And we had all these videos about different org partners, including Heroic Hearts Project and Veterans Exploring Treatment Solutions. There were these really amazing veteran groups that are experiencing amazing healing. We had another partner, the Indigenous Peyote Conservation Initiative, supporting them, just really raising awareness about the plight of plant medicine and these beautiful traditions, and that a lot of the medicines are being overharvested. And we need to be conscious about that and make sure we're supporting our Indigenous brothers and sisters, and in enabling them to protect their way of life for generations to come, and not let the psychedelic renaissance deplete their wild sources of medicine. So trying to raise awareness in different dimensions of the psychedelic movement. But we sell into like Walgreens and Walmart and Target. We're everywhere, and as well as natural food stores and independents, and obviously that's our core. But we sell everywhere, and I thought this label was going to last like 2 weeks in the mass market, before we were going to have to swap it out. It was a very activist thing,
Yeah.
But we didn't get one complaint, and in fact, Walgreens, they were doing an ad like in their store. And we sent them our regular label, like regular bottle. And they're like, no, we want the Heal Soul.
Oh, wow.
And it was like, wow, man, like just how far the culture's moved that, I mean, if we'd done this 4 years ago, I mean, it would have, been a much different story, but it's just cool. Like, wow, like we did this whole label all about psychedelics and not one complaint, everyone was so jazzed about it. And no, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. So, I was thinking about, since Dr. Bronner's soaps, so intertwined with some of these other ideas and Sun and Earth and these other things, I was wondering if, as a company, the soap side, if you were getting any pushback from the other advocacy efforts, and it sounds like you're having a positive outcome.
Yeah, our business model is unusual. I mean, we're basically, my granddad founded us as a not-for-profit religious organization. Our corporate name is still All One God Faith. The IRS disagreed with his self-designated tax-exempt status, and he was in bankruptcy in the late 80s. And my dad and mom and uncle entered the picture and helped right the ship and exit as a for-profit, but as a kind of ethical social venture with the DNA of a nonprofit.
Yeah.
And so we cap our executive salaries at 5 times the lowest paid position, and all profits we don't need goes into advocacy. But it turns out that we get so much love from what we do in earned media and like just a lot of attention. So we're basically building brand awareness and loyalty and through our activism, and what a traditional company would be spending on marketing, we're spending on activism, but getting the same result.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. So
that's great. I love to hear it. Well, thank you so much for your time. This was awesome. We're going to be doing Sun and Earth all month long for October. So we'll keep you in the loop and get our other brands up here and some more interviews. And thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, right on. Well, thank you so much for doing all that and for having me on here.
For sure. Have a great day, and we'll keep in touch.
Yeah, you too.
All right. Take care. See ya.
Yeah, bye-bye.